So, let me tell you a story. Welcome to my channel. I'm Bantle Beha and thank you for joining in. And shout out to all those that have subscribed. I appreciate it. And if you're new here, please do consider to subscribe. Yeah. And today in this segment, we want to shed some light on some small businesses. And what we want to do is to actually, uh, do our community obligation, as a YouTuber. The little that I can do is actually to give a shout out to a small business. Not that I'm getting a cent, I'm just doing my community obligation, and I'm bringing you viewers um, choices, choices if you want to go to the sun for the festive season. Actually, I'm sharing with you one of the guide, they call them guides, guys that you can actually contact and enjoy the safari with your family. Yes. Around about, I think it was towards the end of 2019, beginning of 2020, we started hearing cases of COVID-19. And as usual, we've had pandemics, but nothing had prepared us for COVID-19 because oftentimes you hear there's fever or there's a flu somewhere. It's just contained in one country. But it wasn't so with COVID-19. January 2020, February 2020, the numbers of COVID-19 started increasing. And unfortunately, the loss of lives as well. People were dying like flies. And in March 2020, let me say before that, we never anticipated the virus, yes. We never anticipated the virus to actually come as far as Africa, in particular Botswana. And unfortunately, in March 2020, fortunately, March 2020, the country that is Botswana, we went in our first lockdown because of COVID-19. And this was a way of the country to try to contain or to mitigate, that's the word. Yes, yeah. So the country, in the attempt to slow down the spread of the virus, got into its first lockdown, and that was in March 2020. But before the lockdown, life was life as we know it. People were going to work, people were building, people were getting loans, and people were marrying. You could just get into your car and drive to wherever you wished to go. So life was life before COVID. We we trusted people. You go into a mall without a mask, and you will shake each other's hands, without the fear of contracting a virus. Life was life, and life was good. Yes. Yeah, life was life. And I'm also reminded of this verse that I think it's in the New Testament where it says, quoting the Old Testament, where it says, just like in the days of Noah, that is talking about the coming of Christ. It says that just like in the days of Noah, people were marrying up until Noah went into the ark and actually closed the ark. God closed the ark. So it was life as we know it. We never saw. The warnings were there, but we never anticipated it to be this hard. Yeah. I remember the first lockdown because when it happened, uh, fortunately, I was home with the family, and I think it was everywhere where people were glued to TV, to the television, to hear the updates with regards to COVID-19. And the thing is with COVID-19, when the first lockdown, it's unfortunate that the nature of humans, it's very rare to prepare. There are only a few people that prepare for the eventuality. Oftentimes, it's check to check, you get your paycheck and you blow it, and next month you do the same. And again, here I'm reminded of King Solomon when he says that you use slander to go to the ends and learn from them. So the thing is, when the lockdown was now imposed, there was no reserve to alleviate the situations in most of the family. And as a result, it became hard for the families. Money-wise, it became hard for the families because, the thing with life is life moves on, life continues, and people needed to eat. People needed to go for checkups, So it's very fortunate that the first month the government attempted to alleviate the situation by offering food hampers, but still families were hard hit. At the first lockdown, only essential workers were allowed to move. And even so, yes. So the industry that was hard hit with COVID-19 was obviously the tourism sector. And small businesses essentially were hard hit by COVID-19 because you can think of someone who just started his or her business just before COVID-19, and oftentimes you get a loan to start a business, and when there are no restrictions, it means that you don't get customers into your business and there's no revenue that is generated. But at the same time, if you use the loan, the bank calls, the bank expects you to be paying the monthly dues because that was the agreement in the first place. So it was pretty hard. The tourism industry in Botswana was hard hit. In Chobe and as well as Maun, they were hard hit. You can imagine that you have this family breadwinner, and the source of income as having tourists coming and actually offering your services to tourists. And when the tourists were cut, it was tough. It was tough. So this is the story of one gentleman who was fortunate that before COVID-19, he was fortunate to have gotten assistance from the bank. In particular, if you're in Botswana, you will know SEDA. He was fortunate to have gotten assistance from SEDA. And that was his way of providing for his family. And with the SEDA assistance, he was able to get a Land Rover, and he already had a business that he registered, and that is the Moonlight Safaris.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Moonlight Safari.
Indeed, life has changed because of COVID. What have you learned because of COVID? And how has your priorities changed because of COVID? What have you put in place in terms of diversifying your streams of income? Because truth be told, reliance on just one salary is not enough. So what have you done? I'm interested in hearing what you have done. Probably we can learn one or two things from you. please leave in the comment section so that we can also learn. Sharing is always caring. But remember, life moves on. So before I continue with the story, I just want to put a disclaimer there. I am not in any way sponsored by the Moonlight Safaris. I'm not getting a cent from speaking about them. I'm not getting anything. I'm just doing my community obligation. Somehow we are obligated to reach out and assist. So yes, I'm just reaching out and helping a small business that was hard hit by COVID. I'm just bringing it to light. And with that, I'm hoping that my viewers out there, you support the small businesses, yeah, so that they can, stand again post-COVID, not really post-COVID, but when the movement is still, when people are still free to move, let's assist. Let's do what we can to help the small businesses. Let's give them. Let us be the wind under their wings. I think that's what I wanted to say. Yeah. So we continue with the story of the Moonlight Safari. And slowly but surely, restrictions were taken away and people started moving. And we are so appreciative that the government started promoting the tourism sector. And as a result, the Moonlight Safaris have now English. What's the word? Resuscitating. Yes. The Moonlight Safaris is resuscitating, and we're grateful for that. And so here is their services and what they offer, and I'll also put down their web addresses, and I'll show you pictures that you can maybe enjoy if you so wish to support. Please, let's support local. And the Moonlight Safaris is in Kasane and yes, Chobe, the mighty Chobe River. Yes. Now, Botswana is a landlocked country, meaning that we do not have any access to the sea nor the ocean. So, but we do have access to the rivers. We have the Chobe River, we have Tamalakan River in the Okavango region. Though the Chobe River is obviously in Kasane. So the services that they do offer, you won't have that privilege of visiting a sea, but you have the privilege of visiting or taking in a boat cruise. And the price for the boat cruise, I've just written it down. And we don't have this luxurious green vegetation in Botswana, unfortunately. But we do have what we term a game cruise through the Chobe National Park. And the beauty about this is you not only drive, but as you drive, you'll be spotting different animals, and you will have a privilege of also stopping in the park and just viewing the Chobe River as the sun is setting. So rest assured, it's value for your money. It's value for your money. So from here, I'm just going to show you a few pictures that you probably will get when you go on a game drive with the Moonlight Safaris. And by the way, they also have the service of taking you through the Victoria Falls to and from. There's a hippo there. They can cook as well. Yes, yes. Now that's the Chobe River, and that's the hippopotamus. Yes, I don't know whether it's a cheetah or a leopard. Yes, and you'll be cruising in the game right? So, ladies and gentlemen, let's support them. That's their sunset in the Chobe National Park. Yes. Otherwise, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. It's cheap, it's affordable. Let's support our own. Yes. the king of the jungle. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. And once again, I appreciate those that have subscribed. I really, really appreciate it. And if you're new here, please do consider to subscribe as well. Otherwise, see you in my next video.